Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to cover one of the most important topic and most used topic in Python, which is a list. By the end of this video, you will know how to create list and X items from a list, change them also, and added and remove item from a list also, and loop through them also. Use list comprehension, sort, copy, join list. And so first, what actually is a list? A list in Python is used to store multiple items in a single value. Think of it like a shopping bag. One bag, but it can hold many different things inside. Okay, let me show you simply. So let me just create a fruit of a list items. So I have to give a variable name which is fruit. Okay, we use square brackets for the list. Okay, to define this, inside the double quotes we write list item like apple. Okay, after that, if we have another item, then we will separate by comma, then we will write another item. Okay, we as much we want. So now I can print out whatever the fruit is. Okay, so you see that this is the output we will get. You can print what is the type of this fruit, so which is list. Okay, now list have three very important properties. They are ordered. Okay, the item always stay in the same position. Okay, apple is always first, banana is always second. Okay, and they are changeable. You can go back and edit or remove item anytime. Okay, third, they allow duplicates. Okay, uh, the same value can appear more than once. Okay, so let me just say this. Inside this I can write apple double time. Okay, this is the duplicate value, but it will also print it out. You see that I can also know how many items are in this list. I will say print length. For this I will use length function, and then I give this fruit. Okay, so when I run it, you see it says 4. It also counted out this duplicate value, and it will also print it out, and it will count also. Okay, length function. This is the list. Now list can hold any data type like strings, integers, floats, boolean, even complex number. Like let me just say this is the list one variable. Okay, inside there is a strings values like let me just say Tesla. Okay, these are just company names. Okay, okay. So this is a string list. Okay, it can also have integers values like this. Okay, it can also have boolean values where either the true or false value. Okay, this is boolean. Like it can have mixed values like string. Okay, just say also integer value, also boolean value. Let me just say true here. Okay, float value, it can be anything. Okay, this is mixed types. So one list can hold different types at the same time. Okay, this is the, let me just print out all of these. Print list one. So this is the output we will get. You see, these all are the list. Okay, and there is also one more way to create a list using the list constructor. Let's say we will have to define a variable. Let's just say alphabet. Okay, and inside I will say quote unquote list. This is the list constructor to define to create a list in this inside these bracket I will use commas. Then I will say, let me just say, I can also print whatever the type is, quote unquote alphabet. Okay, I can also say print this alphabet. So when we run it, so you see that the type of this list that we created here is a list. Okay, its type is list, and this is the output we get. Notice the double bracket list takes as a tuple in input. Okay, so now we will talk about access list items. Let me just create a list like let's say random things. Okay, so first let me just say apple and table. So these are just the random things. So in order to if I just wanted to print out just this value from this list, okay, so I have to write this name first. After that, square bracket inside I have to index it. So the first well, this one is at the zeroth value. Okay, this one is at one value, and this is index at the second value, and this is index at third value. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So if I wanted to this, if I need this value, so I have to write here just one. Okay, so when I print it, it will grab the second value. I have to print it. So I need to print this. Okay, so it will grab the first value, which is at index first, which is table. Okay, if I needed the this one value that here, I can also say from like this random things. I know the what is the index value of this bat, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. So I can type here 3. Okay, it will give me bat. Okay, I can also use the negative indexing. I can say type right here -1. It will then grab the last one value. Okay, if I just say -2 in the random things, it will grab the second last value. Okay, so this is how the negative indexing works, and this is how the simple indexing works to access any item from a list. Okay, now what if you want a range of item? Okay, we use slicing. Okay, I start and end index. Okay, let me just give this more items. Let's just say. So now let me just say if I need let's just say I want these whole these four values to be printed out. How can I do this? How can I do this? I can say using the slicing. I can say in the random things. Uh, so here I will say starting value from where to start. Start from the first index, which is a table. Okay, go on up to the this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go on 5, but if I say here 5 indexing value, this thing will not print it out. Okay, only this because last one value will be excluded from the list. If I print it, if I write 5 here, you see. So I have to give here 6 in order to give me a previous value. So when I run it, you see that this is this is called slicing. Okay, how do you check if an item is in the list? We will use the in keyword to okay. So if what is the word this bad in random things quote unquote print. Yes, it is there. Okay, so if it is there, we know that it is here, so it will print it out. Yes, it is there. If it is not there, let me just change the capital. So you see that nothing will be printed out because this if statement will not work out. If I write here else block print, we could not find it. So when I run it, you see that this else block will run. We know that this VAT is not equal to this VATs. Like this one is in small letters and this one is in capital letters. The first part. Okay. So now we will talk about change list items. Okay. Change list items. So lists are changeable. So let's change some items. To change a list, to change a single item, refer to its index and assign new value. So let me just say this random things inside this random things. Okay, uh, I want to change this ball to the uh, football. To the this one, this is index at 0, 1, 2. It's index at 2. I will say quote unquote 2 is equals to, now what is the value that I wanted to give this. Let me just say uh, football. Okay, so when I run it random things, the value is being changed. Okay, you see that now it is football. You can also change a range of item at once. Okay, so let me just say inside this uh, random things. Okay, from 1 to 3, let me just say uh, two things I want to change. Inside the brackets I will write, let me just say okay, and let me just say cat. So one value and the third. So when I print it random things. Okay, so you see that the phone is at one index after this table. Okay, the phone is at one position and the at the third index, which is 0 1 2 0 1 2 3, which is bad. Okay, so at the second value it is cat here because this 3, because this 3 is at this position. Okay, but this value is not changed here because this 3 excluded from the list, excluded this 3 and goes to the last item because it is ending value. This is starting value and this is ending value, and ending value will have one less value. That's why. Okay, you can also what if you replace one item with two new items? The list grows. Let me just say, let me write like fruits. Okay, inside it, let me just say uh, apple, banana, and cherry. Okay, and if I want to say just inside the fruit, now I will replace one value, one item with two new items. So let me just replace this value. Okay, at index 1. Okay, with two new items like and now when I print fruit. Okay, also first let me just print this fruits before and after, and also give here a line so it is nicely printed out. So you see, oh sorry, I mistaken here when I write fruits here. So you see that now the at the banana value, now there is two values. Okay, I defined here, and the first before the changing the cherry index value is 2. After the changing made, the cherry index value has been upgraded. It move on to the next index value. Okay, and the opposite replace two item with one, the list shrinks. Okay, but what if you wanted to add an item without replacing anything? Okay, so we will use insert method to insert anything. Okay, give it a position and the value. Okay, so we can also say inside the fruits. Okay, insert value, like first we have to give a index value to it. Let me just say index at second. Okay, comma, what is the value you want to insert in the fruits list? Let me just say orange. Okay, so it will insert at the second value, at the index second, this value. Okay, so you see here it is here. Okay, so watermelon, after that at the index is this is 0, 1 and 2. Now we will talk about added list item, how to add list items. Okay, method 1, which is by append. Okay, by using the append method. Okay, it will be on the append. Okay, now let me just say create a list. Let's just say list 1. Inside it, let me just say 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now I will say list 1 dot append. What to append? Let me just say 6. It will append to it, and now let me just print list 1, and also let me just say what is the before and after of this. Here just print a blank line. Okay, so it will append 1 to it. You see that this is how it will before and after. It will append at the last one. It is the this added one item to the end of a list. Okay, it is most common method you will use. Okay, so method number second is at by using the extend, which is by x extend method. Okay, so let me just create two lists, and let me just say my list, like 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, my list, this is another list. Let me just say a b c. So I will say my list dot extend. Okay, extend what? Extend the my list to. Okay, now I will say print my list. So you will see the output. You see that it will append at the end of a list. It will take this whole list and append extend this here. Okay, extend also works with tuples, sets, and any with any table. And the third way is insert. Okay, which is we always, and the third way is insert way, which we already covered. Okay, so there are three methods to added any list item. One is append. Okay, which only added one item to end, and another method is extend method, any added many items from any another iterable. Okay, and third one is insert, added which added one item at a specific position. Okay, So now we will talk about remove list items. Let me just say number. Okay, inside it one, two, three. So I will say quote unquote. Let me just say number dot remove. Which one to remove? I will say let just remove the third one. Okay. Now after that I will say print what is remaining in the numbered list. You will see that 3 is being removed from the number list. Okay, this is the first method, and another method is pop. You pass the index. If you pass nothing, it removes the last item. So if uh, inside the number dot pop, if you did not give anything here, so it will just remove the last item by default. Okay, so let me just print whatever the number is. So you see that 5 is removed by this pop method if you did not if you did not define here anything. So let me just define here what to delete dot pop. Let me just say just 2 and then print number. So now you see that 2 is being deleted at index 2. From here the index of this one is 2. Let me just say I wanted to delete this 2, not this index 4, index 2. So for this I will set 1. This is the index value. Okay, so you see that this 2 is being removed. Okay, now the third method is del. So similar to the pop, but it does not return the removed value. Okay, del number, inside the number let me just create delete what to delete the first value. Okay, so I will say at the 0th position. Now print whatever the number is. So you see that this one at index 1 is being deleted. If I just say del uh, just number, if I did not give here index value, it deleted the whole list. Let me just first create a list, another list. Let me just say number. Okay, now I will say delete number list. Inside the number list, let's go on to the this two value. So the index value will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so I will say 4 here, then print whatever the remaining. So let me just print it. You see that this at index 4 value has been deleted. Okay, now if I say del number list, so everything will be gone. And if I try to print the number list, then I will get an error because now there is no longer a number list has been in the memory. So the this del keyword, if you did not give here square bracket, okay, and did not define here index value, so it will automatically delete the whole this list from the memory. That's why we are getting the error that number list is not defined. Okay, that's why. So let me just uncomment it. So when I so now perfect. And the fourth one is which is clear method. This empties the list completely, but the list variable still exists. It just becomes empty. Okay. So let me just create a variable. Let's just say a for parent whatever the a is. Now I will say clear a dot clear. Now I will try to print it. If so, you see that it is printed and this blank line here. Oh, sorry, parent a. It will give me it exists in the memory. Okay, this clear method clear is the everything inside the list, but it does not remove the list constructor. It is inside the memory. it is there. But del keyword removes the whole list from the memory. Okay, but clear does not delete the whole thing. It just delete the list items inside the list, whatever is there. Okay, so these are the four ways to delete an item from a list or remove item from a list. Now we will talk about a loop through a list. Now let's talk about looping. Going through every item in a list. There are four ways to do this in Python, and method one in which is most common for the for loop, the most common and simplest. Okay, so we can say let me just say create a variable which is planet. Inside there are values. Let me just say uh, Earth. Let me just create a list of planet. Let me just say Earth, Mars, Neptune, okay, Jupiter. So now I can say for planet in planets parent planet, it will, okay, this is the most common way to loop through a list. Okay, so now method 2 is for loop for loop using the index. Okay, using the index, this is just a for loop. Okay, now we will say for loop with index. So we will combine range and len function to get the position of each item. Okay. So how can we say for I in range? Okay. It takes len function. Inside we will give it the planets. Okay. After that we will say print quote unquote I, whatever the I is. Okay. Then we will say planets. Okay. So when we run it, you see that at the zeroth position there is Earth. So this is how we can give numbers to the loop. Okay. If you wanted to give this Earth as so you see that bit a little bit. So you might be probably thinking why this get Earth get zero and so if you want to give this Earth as an value of so if you want to give this Earth as an one value and Mars gave second, then this one will become third. This one, so you can do that here I plus one. Okay, so because in for I means indexing here. If you refer to the so inside the len function, this will go over and grab this value which is at the zeroth value. That's why Earth is at zeroth value, Mars is at you know that it's at the first index value, and this one is at second, and this one is at third. But we can change it. We can simply add it here I plus one, so it will start from one. Okay, if we just define a 10, it will start it from 11. So I mean 10. Okay, so you can do that from here. So now we will use a counter variable and manually increase it each time using the while loop. Okay, so the for the while loop we need a counter variable. Let me just need a counter variable. This is the counter variable I is equal to 0. So while I less than len of these planets, okay, print whatever the whatever the value of I is, okay, and also increase I with 1. So you see that these have been, this is how we can do it. And the last one method is list comprehension loop, okay. This is the shortest syntax, one line, okay. List comprehension we can say print p for p in planets. Oh, let me just give a line here so it does not give. So you see that this is, so there are four methods, okay, to loop through a list. First one is just a for loop, okay. Another one is for loop with index value, okay. Another one is a loop while loop, okay. This is the counter value. We use counter variable here if it is less than this value, which is the length of these planets. There are only four values, okay. Four values you may okay. Then we will print each value. After that, after the earth value, increase it by, go on to the next item, go on to the next thing. This thing, uh, this thing, this allows goes to the next value. Okay, and this one is a list compression loop. We can write in just in one thing. We can say print p for p in the planets. For p in planets, we are looping here inside the list. Okay. So now we will talk about list comprehension. Okay. This is one of the my favorite features in Python. It lets you create a new list in a single line of code. Let me show you the problem it solves first. Say we have a list of fruits and we want only the ones that contains letter A. Okay. So the old way look like this. If I have a fruits like that apple, uh, banana, okay, uh, cherry. Let me just say kiwi and mango. So I can say inside the result variable, this is the empty list. So I can say for x in now I am looking on it in fruits. If there is an a in x, append the result value. So result dot append, what to append x, okay, and print whatever the result is. So it will goes on check each value. So you see that this is the output as well. So this is the, so these three values has a inside it. Okay, you see that there is a, there is a, there is a. In these two values there is no a. That's why it is not printed out. So this is the old way to loop on like this if you wanted to find out. So the with the list comprehension, we write 5 lines. Sorry. So with the list comprehension, we will get the same results. We will say in the result variable, okay, there is a list. We will say x for x in fruits. Okay, if there is a in, if there is a in x, print result. That's it. X4. I'm sorry, X4. So you see, this is the list comprehension. Okay, we can write these whole thing in just a single line. The syntax is open bracket, okay, and expression for item in iterable, optional if condition, close bracket. That's it. Let me give you more examples, like for the list comprehension to find out even numbers. So we have numbers like from 1 to 10. Okay, so if I wanted to find out even numbers using the list comparison, I will say x for x in numbers. Okay, inside the number variable, if x 2 equals to 0, this is it will give me even value, and for the odd value we will use x for x in numbers if x modulus by 2 does not equals to 0. So it will give me odd value. So let's just print even and print odd. Okay. So you see this from the numbers. You see these are the odd values or even values, and these are the odd values. Okay. You can transform item using the expression. For example, uppercase all company names. Let me just create a company list. Just say HP, Dell, Lenovo. Okay. So for all the upper inside the upper variable inside the list comprehension, we will say x dot. There is an upper method to each alphabet will be in uppercase. Okay. We will say x dot upper method for x in company. Okay, and print the upper. So when you print, you see that first let me write a before value print company. Okay, you see that before this is this, and after you see this is. You can use a conditional expression in to swap values like let me just say v is equals to inside the list. Let me just say Monday. Okay, Tuesday, and so I will say day is equals to x if x does not equals to uh, Tuesday, else holiday for x in week, current day. Okay. Note this is called ternary expression inside compression. List compression is powerful, clean, and very Pythonic. Practice it, you will use it all the time. Okay. So this is the topic of list comprehension. Now we will talk about how to sort a list. Okay. Python lists have a built-in sort method. By default, sorts in ascending order A to Z, small to large. Okay. Let me just say there are cities variable like say so now cities dot sort. Okay, now parent the cities. First, let me just write this. This will create a blank line. Okay. So you see, before this is this. After the sort method, these are the sorted value. So Berlin comes first, then Houston, then Paris. Okay. To sort in descending order, we can write a reverse. We can write a to sort in a descending order. Let me just say number. These are just number. Okay. So we will say num dot sort if I wanted this list in a reverse order. So I will say reverse is equals to true. Okay. Now when I print the num, okay, let me just print for num before the reverse. So you see that before and after, if we write reverse is equals to true, this will reverse the whole thing. Fruits is equals to apple, kiwi, banana, mango. Okay, so I need to say I fruit dot sort key is equals to string dot first over. Then print the fruits. Okay. Also I say here print fruits. Let me just give a blank line here. So you see that first this is normal. Okay. After that, so this is a case sensitive because you see this kiwi has a K capital letter. Okay. So we use that there is a key which is string dot lower, so it will grab the lower value like lower letters, small letters first, then the uh, capital letters. You can also write your own custom sort function. Okay, here is a cool example: sort numbers by how close they are, 50. And we now finally reverse. This does not sort; it just reverse the current order. Okay, so we use the reverse here, but we can also we use the reverse this whole thing using the sort method, but we can also use this same thing 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we can say num dot reverse, quote unquote. We can print. Okay, sorry. So when I run it, you see it will reverse the whole thing. You can also use the sort method for this. You can use the reverse method for this. It's up to you. Now we will talk about copy a list. Okay, if you try a copy a list by simply writing list 2 is equals to list 1, like this, list 2 is equals to list 1, you are not creating a copy, you are just alias. Both variable point to the same list. Watch what happens. So we know that, so let's just create a variable which is original, and inside let me just say Tesla, just company names. Okay. Now we will, now I am creating another variable which is alias, which is to the original. Okay. Same this like this. List 2 is equals to list 1. This is one this. So now I am alias dot append uh, b vmw. Okay. So when I print original, you see that also in the first in the original value, the this is changed. So the original also changed because alias and original are pointing to the exact same list in memory. To make a true copy, you have three options. Okay. So first one is using the copy method. So first let me just say A is things like Window, Mac, Linux. So B, now we create another variable and we will say A dot copy. This is a proper way to copy a things, copy anything. Now I am saying that B dot append. Okay, so now I will print A and print also B. So now you see that the this is the A value, A list. Okay, and I make another list which is from the copy of this list, and I append the annotated. You see that original list which is A is not changed. So this is the proper way to copy a list. You can use a list constructor to make a copy. Like let me just say C, and another variable which will say list A. So whatever the value is inside this C, inside A, it will now copy to the C variable. So you see, so let me, so this C dot append, let me just say XYZ. Now print C. Okay, so when I run it, you see that this is the C value. Okay, I can create, let me just print now A, print B here, and before this print not, I've given this a blank line. You see that this is for A, this is for B, and this is for C. Using the list constructor, you can copy a list. Also, there is another method which is like slice operator. So let me just say these and another variable in from go to the up from the A list we have created earlier here. Okay, take the take everything. If we did not define here starting value and ending value, it will grab everything this list A has. Okay, so now I can also say D dot append. What to append? Let me just say ABC. Now parent A, parent B, parent C, and also parent D. So you see this is for A, B, and C, and D, and there is nothing happened to the A list. Now the last, sorry, all three create an independent copy, but there is some more advanced case If your list contain other list inside it, a nested list, all three method above only do a shallow copy. The inner list still shares memory. Okay, for a for a truly independent copy of nested list, use deep copy like import copy. Okay, we will now will say grades is equals to, this is a list, inside there is another list. We will say I have a grade which is 99. There is another list. Okay, let me just say dex and it has 49. Okay, there is another list which is will and it has 100 marks. Okay, now I will say grades. This is another variable. Safe, I will say copy dot deep copy from the this library to the grades. Okay, now I will say grades. Save, go on to the, this is the uh, go inside the one. Okay, and change 95. Okay, now print grades. Okay, so this is not, it is not, so it will not affect the original list. Okay, always use deep copy when your list contain other list or object. Okay, now we will talk about how to join list. Okay, joining or concatenating two lists, three easy ways. First one is plus operator, simple and clean. Okay, let me just say list one is equals to 1, 2, 3. List two is equals to 4, 5, 6. I can say list three is equals to list one plus list two. Okay, now print just list three. So this is how, this is the first way to do this for the, for using the plus operator. Okay, we can also use the loop method with append method. How? We can say for x in list 2. Okay, list 1 dot append, what to append, this x. Now I can say print list 1. Okay, so you see this is the way to it. So that's it. We covered it, everything about Python lists. You know how to create list, access and change item, edit and remove item, loop through them, and use list comprehension, sort and copy list, join multiple lists, and use all of them. Okay. So if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe it if you are new, and hit the bell so you do not miss the next video.